And if you want to look at how does God feel about this, I also asked this question over the years, like
Yeah.
if God were sitting around this table with us right now and he was speaking audibly like we're speaking now, what would he say to us about abortion, this culture of death, and what is our responsibility, and what does he think about all this?
Yeah.
I believe he would speak Isaiah chapter 1. I want to encourage the listeners to go and read Isaiah chapter 1. But throughout this entire chapter, what you see being laid out in this chapter is God is speaking, and he's saying, I'm tired of religious activity.
Wow.
I'm tired of religious activity. What are these sacrifices to me? He says, I'm so sick of them. I'm tired of them.
That's right.
He says, your hands are full of blood. That's his response. Seek justice, defend the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. And he starts to lay out a plan of repentance.
Right.
And the backdrop of Isaiah 1 is that they were having great prayer services, great sacred assemblies, great worship nights, a lot of spiritual activity in the city of Jerusalem. But right next door in the valley of Ben Hinnom, they were sacrificing children. And that is the backdrop of Isaiah chapter 1, and that is the way God feels about that. Wow. He says, I hate it. I'm tired of it. Yeah. I'm not listening to you. Your hands are full of blood.
Wow.
And then he gives a call to action, a call of repentance for us to live out. And I just believe if the Lord were sitting around this table with us, he would speak very similar to the way he did to us in Isaiah chapter 1. And so if we want revival, we hear that all the time in churches, right?
Talk about that.
We want revival, we want awakening, and I do too. I want that as well. But if we want mercy on our nation and on our land, we must first live out repentance.
That's right. Wow.
We can't pray and ask God for revival and awakening when we know the addresses and the times around our country where innocent humans are scheduled to die and there's currently no Christian witness, and we're not speaking about it, we're not showing up. I just take Charlotte, for example. We have about 2,000 churches in this area. There's 4 abortion centers in this area. And, I don't believe we can be asking God for revival and awakening if we're not dealing with this. Now, thank God the church has awakened here and is mobilizing here.
Right.
And I believe we're seeing revival. I believe we're seeing awakening as we are seeing people that were scheduled for death that are now getting life.
Right.
About 2,900 families now in the last 5 years that have made the choice for life at this abortion clinic. We see the orphans getting adopted into godly homes. We see people that have had abortions in the past walking through healing and restoration. Churches that were quiet that now are speaking and mobilizing.
Wow.
All the ripple effects of unity, John 17 unity that are happening. We're experiencing revival as the church is living out repentance. Yeah. But we can't pray that prayer with authenticity if we're not first dealing with the sin in our land. And I believe we will see revival. I believe we will see awakening as the church lives out repentance in this nation.